Do you have a fear of being alone? Do you feel social pressure or personal insecurities? It could be that you have a deep-rooted need for validation from others. However, this fear of loneliness can come at a rather high price. Maybe it affects your relationships, your mental health, or your overall well-being. If you recognize this in yourself, in this video, you'll find answers as to why this happens and how to deal with it. Why do you feel so alone? Loneliness is a universal human experience. We all face it at one point or another in life. It's a feeling of emptiness and isolation. A disconnection from others that can be incredibly overwhelming. It's not hard to understand the fear of being alone. The empty apartment after work, the silence on a rainy, gray Sunday afternoon, a sense that you're the only person spending the holidays alone. You know the pain of being on your own very well. In today's world, it's easy to fall into the trap of constantly seeking validation and approval from others. Society values relationships, success, and wealth above everything else. This leaves very little room for introspection and self-discovery. As a result, you become afraid to be alone with your thoughts. You fear that you will learn uncomfortable truths about yourself. Imagine having to face your inner demons head-on. Fear of being alone can lead to toxic relationships. This fear of being alone can lead you to stay in toxic relationships and settle for less than you deserve. You sabotage your own happiness in the pursuit of external validation. Being with someone who's not quite right sounds almost bearable, but over time, like a pebble in your shoe, slightly wrong ends up feeling almost unbearable. All the dreams you had in the beginning of the relationship start becoming nightmares. Every holiday together is ruined. Promising moments become disappointments. Every success will be compromised. What may begin as slight friction or boredom winds up as earth-shattering irritation, disgust, and even sexual frustration. The kind of excruciating loneliness that, ironically, being on your own never would have created. Do you have attachment issues? You may cling to unhealthy attachments out of fear of being alone. You stay against your better judgment. Do you often try to avoid confronting your emotions or facing your fears? Maybe instead you choose to bury them deep down inside where they can fester and grow. Furthermore, when you're terrified of loneliness, you have no strength to argue for your needs in any relationship. You are always at the mercy of the person who doesn't feel the same loneliness as you. Partners can often develop a sixth sense about you when you seem to have nowhere else to go. It's no use stamping your feet after an argument and saying, "I've had enough," when, in reality, everyone knows that you will never really have had enough. Why would they when they know you're scared to even have dinner on your own? After spending time in the wrong sort of company, you can start to develop a learned helplessness. All your feelings about being alone grow worse, despite your experience of being in the wrong company. In your comfortable captivity, the big outside world becomes terrifying. Now you can't even imagine knowing how to change the dishwasher fluid, never mind walking into a party alone. To compensate for your weaknesses, you rely heavily on your partner to do simple tasks for you. Instead of taking charge of your day, you always need instructions from those around you. People who don't fear being alone often learn how to garden, deal with the council, go on holidays in the mountains, and stay home alone happily on the weekends. When you stop doing even the most day-to-day tasks, you lose confidence in yourself and your abilities to cope with things others find normal. If you hand over responsibility for your freedom to someone else, you'll be constantly reminded of what you lost. Every party and every walk down a busy street will remind you of what you might have been. All those interesting or exciting people you haven't met yet will seem further out of reach. There you are, just surviving with people who don't meet your needs. A partner who makes you dread waking up in the morning. Imagine how different your life could have been. Take time to get to know yourself. The constant presence of companions stops you from making friends with your own mind and exploring your feelings and ideas in a way that only time alone can let you do. You fail to develop your sense of identity. You grow more like everyone else. The chatter from outside stops you from listening to an internal dialogue you might have otherwise been able to have with yourself. You use another person to distract you whenever anything slightly painful or challenging internal matters appear. Learn how to love being alone. But what if you were to embrace your fear of being alone, rather than running from it? What if you were to see loneliness not as a weakness, but as an opportunity for growth and self-discovery? Learn how to be single, not out of necessity, but out of choice. Learning to be comfortable in your own company is a skill that can have a profound impact on your mental health and overall well-being. By learning how to be alone without feeling lonely, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-assurance that is not dependent on external validation. Learning to love yourself for who you are, rather than who you think others want you to be. Practice mindfulness to feel calm and in control. Mindfulness can play a crucial role in helping you overcome your fear of being alone. By practicing mindfulness, you can learn to be present in the moment, to observe your thoughts and emotions without judgment, and to cultivate a sense of inner calm and clarity. Mindfulness can help you to connect with yourself on a deeper level, to understand your fears and insecurities, and to find the courage to face them head-on. Loneliness can also be a powerful teacher, leading you towards a deeper understanding of your place in the world. It can help you to ask yourself the big questions, reflect on your values and beliefs. What are your principles in life? Loneliness can be a catalyst for personal growth and self-improvement. It can push you to step outside your comfort zone and explore new opportunities for learning and growth. In the quest to overcome your fear of being alone, it's important to remember that relationships are not the answer to your deepest fears and insecurities. While relationships can bring joy, companionship, and support, they are not a cure for loneliness. True happiness and fulfillment come from within. Learning to love and accept yourself unconditionally and cultivating a sense of inner peace that is not dependent on others. How do you free yourself? Breaking free from your fear of being alone can be a challenging and daunting journey. It's a journey that's well worth taking, though. By learning how to be single and how to embrace your solitude, you can cultivate a sense of inner peace and self-assurance. Free yourself from the chains of external validation and discover a newfound sense of freedom and empowerment. The high price you pay for your fear of being alone is a life half-lived. A life spent in constant pursuit of external validation and approval, rather than inner peace and self-acceptance. Learn how to be comfortable in your own company. By practicing mindfulness and embracing your loneliness as a guide, you can overcome your fear of being alone, discover a newfound sense of happiness, fulfillment, and well-being. If you enjoyed the advice in this video, please like and subscribe for more content like this. So let's not be afraid to be alone. In solitude, you can find the answers to the questions that truly matter.